KDB. KDB. KDB.
Beats Planet.
And we are back with another lovely episode, another Victory Tuesday, because we played Monday Night Football. A Victory Tuesday for Cowboy Nation. Just one time. It's just one time. It's just one time for the one time. Listen, man. Listen, there is nothing like a good plan coming together. You understand me? There's nothing like a good plan coming together. Let me stretch my arms. Let me shrug my shoulders. Turn my back to the Giants. We ain't thinking about that, I mean. Yo, Will, still, there's nothing like a good little plan coming together. You feel me, sir? Nothing like it.
Yes, sir.
We're here. we're here with another stupendous victory because we simply took care of business. I saw what was going on in the social media streets, and I don't have any ill will towards the Giants. Will still, you know what I mean? I don't hate the Giants. I don't hate Giants fans because you have to be some type of threat for me to take you seriously. You feel me? And if we walked in and took care of business, this wouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna feel the same way next week. And when we get to week 6, the internet's gonna be a very dreadful place. But as of now, we have a Cowboy W, and that's to be celebrated. You feel me? Everybody come on in. Everybody come on in. They say, Voch, why are you bragging so much? Voch, why are you so confident? Well, because they started it. They started talking shit to us. I don't know if it happened on your show in the morning, Will, but we started just getting a handful of Giants fans just kind of tapping in our chat boxes or whatever. You know what I mean? And I don't like that. I don't like that. Stay on your side. Stay with your content creators. I'm sure you got some content creators doing some solid things over there. Don't come over here talking crazy because Cooper Rush will smoke your ass. You feel me? And if Cooper Rush out here smoking you, imagine what happened. Look, it's one of the Giants fans on Twitter after Cooper Rush whooped their ass. One of the Giants fans wrote, they said, yeah, Voch, we'll see you Thanksgiving. And then what? We gonna see what in Thanksgiving? We gonna see what in Thanksgiving?
When the last time Rain Dakota Prescott lost to them?
Shit, it was raining. Freshman year versus Eli and them when they spent that $1 billion on that defense. Couldn't be nobody else but us. God damn. Hey man, we have a fantastic show for y'all today, man. Look, everything's better on a victory Tuesday, man. It's Victory Tuesday. We played last night. The Cowboys were victorious, and we're gonna break down every little single thing that happened to you. We're gonna break it down in a very gloaty fashion. 23-16 was the final score. Love y'all to pieces. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm your host, Voch Lombardi. Would y'all please follow me on all my social media platforms, VOCHLOMBARDI. I'm being point guarded by the best in the business.
Yeah, I got urgent messages for Mr. Willie Jones.
Shouts out to my man. It's war, Will Steele. It's war.
I don't got nothing for you, man. I don't got nothing for you, but I'm going to go ahead and pose on this Victory Tuesday, Playboy. That was good. You said you had something for me this week, so now I got to match you, bro.
I got something for you every week. I got something for you every week.
I like it.
D-Town producer the super chat and says Peters at left guard flex. We'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it. I just kind of want to just, plug the hell out of this early. We got a offensive line film session coming y'all's way after the show. Tyler Smith and Jason Peters breaking down the left side and what I seen. But I also did the Patreon film session. That's the full-blown film session. So if y'all want to see what we did there, you can go check that out in its fullest form. Patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Well, still, before we get into the players, right? And I do have players and position groups that we're going to talk about today, of course. And the phone line's open, by the way. It's a good time to hear from y'all. 202-926-1127, access code 309104. Before we get into the players, Will, still, I think coaching did a damn good job this game, man.
Indeed.
I think we can say a lot about the coaching. Now, you said you really wanted to go in on the things that we saw from Kellen Moore via film session. I agree. I'm also going to break down some of the things that we saw because I think a lot of people are giving Cooper, and this ain't me. Before I even say that, Cooper Rush played a hell of a game. All right, to be a backup quarterback. I actually asked this yesterday on my live stream, Will Still. I was like, do y'all think Cooper Rush is in the top 32 quarterbacks in the league? Like, is he better than Daniel Jones? Is he better than Geno Smith and Joe Flacco right now? You know what I mean? I'm not foolish enough to put Daniel Jones way up there or whatever. But if that's it, I'm not Daniel Jones. They're the same dude to me. Fucking Cooper Rush. If Cooper Rush is going to be your backup quarterback, he's the 30th best quarterback in the league. I think we have a pretty good situation in that, and I'm glad that we did spend money and capital to go get Colin Kaepernick or whatever, or Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever y'all was putting out there in the universe. Cooper Rush played a fantastic game. I just want to give him his credit for that. He made throws when he should have made them. He was on time. We didn't turn the ball over. No fumbles, sacks, and all that good stuff. Cooper Rush was fine. Kellen Moore got busy. Will Steele. Kellen Moore got busy. I think it'll be hyperbolic if I came out and said I could have played quarterback yesterday. It wouldn't be super hyperbolic though. I wouldn't be exaggerating too much, Wilson. Because I think I could have played quarterback yesterday, man. You know what I mean? Like, the reads were there. We weren't forcing things. We kept it simple. And I think we leaned on our talent more than anything, right? You know what I mean? Hey, Noah, get open and catch the ball. Run your route, catch the ball. It'll be there for you. CeeDee, when you didn't have your little focus drop and your other little drop, you know what I mean? Take care of the ball, be a yak guy, take care of your business. And he made it incredibly easy for us. We're incredibly, let me give us a little bit. We're just talking right now. We're incredibly balanced, Will Steele. We're incredibly balanced. We threw the ball for 215 yards. We rushed for 170 or so. We had about 30 attempts on both sides. I loved that to pieces. Let's just kind of get into this, man. Kellen made it available for Cooper Rush to go out there and be aggressive. He made it easy for Cooper Rush to be aggressive, to get the ball downfield. Because Wink Martindale kind of gave you a lot of space to want to attack the ball downfield. And the one thing that you didn't want to do in that situation is shell up. Right? So Kellen says, all right, cool. We're not going to shell up. We're going to throw the football right at you. And Cooper Rush, we're going to have these motherfuckers wide the hell open for you. And Cooper Rush did his job in particular at delivering. But I want to give Kellen Moore his credit more than Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush did his thing, but I want to give Kellen Moore his credit. Will Steele, what did you see from Kellen Moore and his play calling for Cooper Rush and offense?
I mean, the statistic that stands out the most is shout out to John Owning. 11 for 15 out of play action. 15 play action calls. Guys, that is more than the first two games combined. 48% of his dropbacks were in play action, which means he was either under center or he was putting the ball in the running back's, stomach and pulling it out and then throwing it to whoever the hell was open, which there was a lot of people open. But, I mean, that's the type of I think, design we want to see, right? You had Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott out there in 21 personnel a ton. It was using orbit motion, at snap motion. I cannot wait. I don't have the plays here, but you guys have to see the plays, man. They were fantastic. In one of my notes I said, I want to cry. Because I look around the league and I look at what the Rams do and what Mike McDaniels does and Sean McVay does and these other guys, and I'm like, why can't we do that? We did. We did it yesterday, and I said it earlier this morning. There was execution from the top to the bottom. The play call, the execution from the offensive line, and then Cooper Rush executing the play. I mean, it was just boom, 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 check, checkmate, man. It was fan, and it really could have got worse. Not even talking about the penalties, not talking about the drops. It could have got worse, but it didn't, and that's fine. He still came out there with an efficient day.
Sure. It could be things as simple as, okay, we're going to run the ball to the right, but we're going to inside zone our way to the left. And the last guy on the line of scrimmage, I think it was like Jake Ferguson, who had a good day blocking defensive ends, by the way. Jake Ferguson down blocked the last guy on the line of scrimmage. And Noah Brown was acting as a guard. Yeah. Yes, he was pulling backside
calling and motion.
Exactly. When the whole offensive line goes left, the linebackers tend to go their way, like they're reading linemen first. So the linebackers actually take themselves out of the play by flowing with the offensive line. Noah Brown coming to kick as a puller, and you get this wide open lane on the opposite side. And I'm like, man, that's what happens. You just put two down blocks on the end of an inside zone run with a puller from wide receiver. It was interesting to look at, Will Steele. And I know you're going to do the film work and you're going to put it out. I'm going to do the same as well. Just to kind of give people an idea of what Kellen Moore is doing. And the biggest talking point amongst all rational Cowboys people, because people like, John Middlecoff and Steve Young and all these other people, they feel like Cooper Rush is doing more than what he really is or whatnot. If we can keep this offensive scheme, if we keep things simple, and you add Dak Prescott, and you add Michael Gallup, and you add James Washington, and don't make things more complicated just because Dak is back, right? Just keep things as simple as they are now, and then when we have to make an adjustment, you have the talent at quarterback and wide receiver to make that adjustment. But if they're gonna give us easy looks, don't complicate it for the sake of complicating it. Go ahead.
I just thought about when you just named Michael Gallup and James Washington. Who would have thought? Not me. beginning of preseason, losing James, we're like, whatever. Now I'm thinking about, the prospects of getting James Washington back as your third wide receiver, doing some yak things, getting up the field, hitting some seam routes, going deep. It sounds fun now because schematically, and I'm going to say this and mark it down, 326 Central, 927-22, Kellen Moore is scheming people open, Cowboys Nation. I thought I would never say that, and that is happening. And I'm hoping that it continues. And I think personally, we go a little bit further. We're giving a lot of credit to Kellen. I got to give credit to the Mike McCarthy. Yeah. I think the other week called him out, sat him down, said, hey, we got to be smarter. We got to be, he used the word conservative, but I think he meant what, and he even talked about kind of tightening up that play sheet. I said this, I don't need Kellen to be cute. I don't need him to be trickery. I don't need none of that. He can keep it simple, stupid, right? The KISS method creatively. Yep. And he did that. Yep. That 21 personnel fan with Tony Pollard, he did actions off of it. And, I mean, it sounds basic, but those are things that weren't happening, prior to this week. And then last week you saw a baby step, then you saw a huge step this past week. And I think they should take this package and build off of it like you see McVay and those boys do.
I mean, you have dudes. I mean, you lost Amari Cooper, but you have so much talent on this offense. You don't have to be super crazy. Will Steele had an amazing quote. He says, Mike McCarthy put his foot in Kellen Moore's ass and he ain't ran a reverse since. And I just screamed. Because he hasn't. He hasn't. That was something that I was fussing at Kellen Moore about, man. Just keep things simple. We ain't got to do too much. But Mike McCarthy, trusting in his guys, trusting in his defense, going for it on fourth down, having the nuts. And Mike McCarthy's really had a bad break with, quarterback injuries since he's been here. But he's won 7 games without Dak. So we got to give Mike his credit where it's due, man. He's definitely pushing that message along. He can't take over play call because he don't know what shit's called over there. He don't know the terminology. But he is definitely putting the imprint on the culture over there. I want to go back to running backs. I don't want to get too far away from that. I could be wrong, Will Steele. But don't it feel like, normally we'd be watching the game and Tony will get going and they'll force Zeke ass back in there for no reason, right? I feel like last night our running backs showed what a true tandem between the two of them looks like. I think they both were allowed to get hot on their own time. I think we finally found a good balance because I ran to Twitter. Tony Pollard had his second drive, and I was like, all right, Tony's second drive, and Tony came out of consecutive. He started off the third drive, like consecutive drives. I'm like, Tony went back out there. Now, Zeke went back out there eventually, but the ending tally was, Will Steele, the ending tally was Tony Pollard had 13 carries, Zeke had 15. Mm-hmm. That's as balanced as it get, man. That ain't like Zeke having 17 carries, Tony got 4. Four carries, a dumb reverse, and 2 dump offs that didn't go nowhere. You know what I mean? They were truly a balanced running back tandem, and you still found ways to get both those guys going. I know, Zeke was on the field. Tony did like a jet sweep thing. That was the thing. On like 4th and short, Tony was the running back. Zeke wasn't fullback. We handed the ball off to Zeke from fullback. So we do have ways to keep both those guys on the field and get both those guys going. But the glaring difference, though, Will Steele, Zeke did go 15 for 73 and a touchdown, in which he had 4.9 yards a carry. But Tony's 13 for 105 yards, 8.1 yards per carry is stunning. That is stunning.
Yeah, but they were. I think they played at the highest level of what they do. Like Ezekiel Elliott he's a bruiser now, right? Like he's a guy that's going to soften up the defense and a guy that's going to get that tough touchdown that he got in the red zone. I think that was, if you wanted to put it on tape, what does Thunder Lightning look like, right? Speaking of Thunder Lightning, I don't know if you remember the Tiki Barber, Ron Dane days. They used to call him Thunder Barber back in the day. But that was Thunder Lightning. You had Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott doing effective things on the interior and on the edge, and you had Ezekiel Elliott finishing forward, bowling guys over, making things tough. And the next thing you know, Jason Peters gets in there. And he pins down a guy, and Tony Pollard just flies through that. What was that? The B gap, maybe the C gap, and he's going for 46 yards. So they played at the top level for what they do.
Well, look, Twan dropped a deuce in super chat because we was talking good about Zeke. He said, "But Voch, okay, doing good. I was waiting because we was talking good about Zeke. Then I started talking about Tony. He was like, "Never mind. Good job. No. What I'm saying though, Twan, we are giving Zeke his credit. I'm not gonna be the guy that says take Zeke off the field. I'm never gonna be that guy. I don't want to replace Zeke with Tony. That ain't what I'm doing right now. But you need both of them. You need both of them.
Yes.
It's clear, bro, that when Tony touches the ball, it just it's a little more explosive, man. But I do think you need Zeke for that long period of time, right? You do need Zeke to wear those dudes down. And you can see it. Somebody said in my Patreon as I was watching the film, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi on the offensive line. It's out right now. Somebody was saying, like, it was like, yo, Voch, do the Giants D-line look a little tired to you? Yeah, look a little tired.
Oh, Voch, I noticed something when you're done.
They look a little tired, you know what I mean? And for one, that could be, getting mauled by your offensive line for long enough. Terrence Steele, another game we're gonna talk about when we get to the offensive line. But yeah, tackling Zeke and getting pushed around will get you tired, indubitably, and that'll just help Tony in the long run. Go ahead, Will.
You talked about getting tired. Remember when we were out at Oxnard and we were like, this is an interesting tempo that they're playing. I've never seen them do this tempo. Week 1, they didn't do it. Week 2, they didn't do it. Week 3, they pulled that bad boy out, and it got Wink Martindale and that defense confused. They were trying to figure out where to go, and they're snapping the ball at 32 seconds on a play clock when it's a 40-second play clock. You know what I mean? So that tempo, and I'm gonna show examples of the tempo that I'm talking about. It made them A, look tired, right? B, get tired because they're going back to the line, and C, they're not set. So it was almost impossible at points in that game for Wink to get too crazy because it couldn't. It reminded me of the days of Rob Ryan. I don't know if you remember those days vividly. It was just pure chaos. It wasn't even organized back there. It was pure chaos. And the guys were like, yo, what are you doing, Rob? Why are you doing so much? Wink couldn't do too much in that game because the tempo that Kellen and Mike McCarthy decided to run had him off guard, man. I just can't get over how well put together this plan was and then how well executed it was on the field.
Yeah. It's funny. Will Steele just said, yeah, Voch, I don't know if you vividly remember the Rob Ryan era. I understand that you was like 30 when Rob Ryan was a defense coordinator, but I was old enough. Will I was like, I was like 12 or 13 or something. I was right.
When they were that young, man. It was what was that, y'all? 10 years ago?
I was like 15. I was in high school, and everybody was saying that the defense was too complicated when Rob Ryan got there. Then we moved on to Monty, and it was too simple.
Right.
and then they ran Pawpaw out there. So yeah, I remember. Yeah, vividly.
Yes.
Let me go. Go ahead.
No, you're right.
Cool. Let me go into the offensive line grades for a second, right? I just kind of rank my guys every single week. Will, did you get a chance to look at the offensive line?
Not enough to grade. I did look. I like vividly. I cheated. I just wanted to see what Jason Peters looked like, my cousin Terrence, and Tyler Smith.
Zach Martin is my number one offensive lineman this week. No fucking surprise, man. Zach Martin is Zach Martin. Zach Martin put hands on people, and they get smoked. Every week there seems to be like one dude that like throws off everybody's grades. Last week it was DJ Reader or whatever, right? This week it was Dexter Lawrence, and depending on who Dexter Lawrence was lined up on was who he whooped for the week. He was over the center a lot. So Biotis, who did have a good week 1 and a solid week 2, Biotis is way at the bottom here. But anyway, Zach Martin is my number one guy. Your cousin Terrence Steele has put together 3 good games, Will Steele. Not just good games, but fire-ass performances. And I know week 1 was, the taste in our mouth was like penalties or whatnot. But you can fix pre-snap penalties, like false starts or whatever. That's just a focus thing. Terrence will fix that. But what Terrence is actually doing, block in and block out, is ridiculous.
Yep.
Whether it be, whoever was pass rushing over there. I even put Kayvon over there a little bit, neutralizing everybody over there. And you'll see different ways that he's still learning, but you see those Duke Manyweather staples or whatever. Like, y'all will watch a highlight video and Duke will tell people about striking, with the outside hand or whatever. And y'all go watch my Patreon. I broke this whole thing down. And you see Terrence get better with his strikes, man. You'll see him setting people up. You'll see him defeating their moves. Like, you see Terrence become a better chess player in the pass game. And I'm just so proud of your cousin. He gonna be your brother before this over with. I'm just so proud of your cousin Will and the strides that he's making. But in the run game, Will, Terrence Steele is so ridiculous in the run game. And what'll happen is Terrence Steele as a lead guy, like if he's the right tackle and we're running right and he blocks the end and he's the lead guy, he's good there too. He gets movement there. Terrence Steele's best block, this might be the best block out of everybody on the line, right? But when we're down blocking or we're running to the left or something like that, and Terrence Steele gets to combo with Zach Martin, you want to talk about continuity, Will Steele? When those two dudes work together, Dexter Lawrence was lined up over Zach Martin one time, and Dexter Lawrence the best interior D lineman on their team. Dexter Lawrence was taken 8 yards from point A to point B beyond his free will, and there was nothing that he could do about it. And Zach and Terrence have such a continuity, such a chemistry. They always taught me this back in O-line school. Back when I went to O-line school, Will, they'll say if there's any ambiguity on the combo, right? If I don't know who's gonna stay on the down blocker, if I don't know who's gonna get off on linebacker, right? If there's any ambiguity, take the fucking D lineman and drop him on top of the linebacker, figuratively, right? Or just both of y'all combo the motherfucker to the linebacker and one of us end up on the linebacker, right? They're so good at carrying down linemen to the linebacker, Will Steele. I don't know when this chemistry got here. I don't know when Terrence Steele suddenly got strong. He was always a feisty dude in the run game last week, but Terrence got strong over the offseason, Will Steele. And him and Zach Martin moving children is inspiring. I know Cowboy Nation is super excited about the left side. And listen, I'm a content creator. I'm a content king. Everything this week gonna have left side on it. I'm a hype y'all asses up too with the views and everything. I'm hype. Oh, look at Terrence Steele. I mean, pardon me. Look at Tyler Smith and Jason Peters and the rest of the offensive line. I know how to get views around here, but Voch Lombardi's voice. Listen to me talk. If I'm most impressed with the side, Jason Peters and Tyler Smith got work to do. Zach Martin and Terrence Steele are your best side, and they should be respected as such. Did you have a comment on that?
No, I mean, I always thought Terrence was a quality starting right tackle coming into the season. But the only thing that I can't wait to see him do is when the game slows down for him. I notice when he gets to that second level, sometimes he gets there too fast. And his momentum could carry him, and that's when these linebackers go around him. But that's pretty much that's like the only weak link I'm seeing in his game right now, man, is that he's too fast at times because he is super athletic. I think people sleep on his athleticism because we have a Tyler Smith who is very athletic, right, and strong and everything like that. But, man, I don't know if there's anybody on the team that sets better than Terrence, and I don't know if there's anybody on the team that fires out faster or more powerful than Terrence. And, once he gets his hands on you in the run game moving, like you said, you're going to move, right? You're going to move. But, man, you said all that stuff about his run blocking. Dude looks really good in the pass blocking department, too. He hasn't given up a sack all season. And, no pressures over the last few games? Something like that? I mean, one pressure over the last 2 games and 3 pressures total. Terrence Steele is looking like a fine right tackle, man.
We should give the front office a little credit. Tyler Smith is my 3rd ranked offensive lineman. You know what I mean? He's just such a natural talent. You know what I mean? He did have a couple holding calls, but that comes from, I don't think he's the best tackle in the world. I think he's very serviceable right now, but whatever. He had a couple holding calls because he just simply couldn't put himself in position to deal with a bendy rusher, which is fine, which is okay. When Tyler wins, he's leaning on his power. He's leaning on his strength, and he is athletic. But athletic is a lot more than just running forward. It's kicking backwards while keeping 1 foot forward. You know what I mean? There's a lot that goes into athleticism. But yes, Tyler Smith, he's my 3rd ranked offensive lineman, but it always comes down to the interior guys who got whooped less. So Fournier is my 4th guy, and I think that's simply because of the matchup. Go on.
His best game of the season.
Best game of the season, right. Fournier, and this Giants D-line is a little less gangster than the last 2 that we saw. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the Bucks D, well, Conor McGovern was there. But if you look at the Bucks D-line, like you got 3 gangsters on the interior that you got to find a way to deal with. And then you run into the Bengals D line. They kind of got two gangsters, but they got one dude that are just kind of like you can live blocking that one dude. Matt Fournier, when he was blocking anybody not named Dexter Lawrence, he showed power, he showed consistency, he showed good hands, and he showed good feet. I got to give Fournier his credit where it is, where it's due. Now he did have a couple of plays where he ran into Dexter Lawrence, and Dexter Lawrence was kicking his ass, but he just didn't run into Dexter Lawrence as much. Fournier is my fourth guy. He had a pretty good game, best game of the season for him, because every other game he was 5th and 6th, but he is 4th right now. Jason Peters, in which he is my 5th guy, but Voch, what about the big Tony Pollard play, right? And I just kind of wanted to chill everybody down a little bit. I know that when Jason Peters got in and Tony Pollard broke off the big play, I know we were looking to hand out who's responsible for this. I feel y'all on that. But Jason Peters looked like a dude that ain't have an off season. It's cool. He looked a little. Well, I hit the wrong button. He looked a little clumsy. He looked a little rusty. He missed a few blocks. Got off balance a little bit. What he did look was powerful. He did look powerful. When he did actually get hands on dudes, he was strong. But it's the positioning thing. Now, Will, I have a theory because I'm O-line guy. Did he look off balance because he was rusty? Or did he look off balance because the timing at left guard is different than left tackle?
I would say the latter.
Sure. I think that's fair. Things move. People think that guards are just bad tackles. It's not the case. They're two totally different positions, and things just happen so much faster on the inside. At tackle, you get more room to figure it out. You get more room to chess match. You get more room to fight. And Will, I got a fantastic call from this dude from Martise from Philly. He says Kellen Moore didn't do shit schematically last night. I want you to get him.
Boy. I literally have the. I mean, if I did my show, boy, I would just drop it right now. I just don't have it pulled up right now.
I got him last night. I want you to smoke the shot at him. But yeah, Jason Peters looked a little off, and I would attribute it to he didn't have an off season. Plus the idea, I think it's a fair idea. The idea that the timing is different. Now, still, I would love to have Jason Peters back at left tackle. Every time I rank Tyler Smith as like the 3rd best offensive lineman for the week or the 4th best offensive lineman for the week, I simply say, I bet if Tyler Smith was at left guard, he'll be at like 1 or 2. I bet he'll just play so much better if he was at guard.
I was going to ask you, did you notice? Peter? Did you notice they didn't really go right with Peters often? My whole thing that I was concerned about with Peters was when I watched him on tape last year, I noticed he wasn't getting on his reach blocks to the right as fast as he might have been 10 years ago. And it was that one play, I know you probably know what I'm talking about, where they went right, and he kind of was just like, I gotta get out there.
Look, Will, I actually shouted you out on the film session. The Giants got a fat ass defensive tackle. He's like 71 too, I believe. Let me look him up.
He's like 350 pounds. Look like.
Yeah. Giants, our lads, and I was watching the film, and we actually ran. I think we only ran right one time, maybe like twice or something like that. And I remember saying, "Hey, this is something that Will still wanted to know." And it wasn't an incredibly big dude. It was Justin Ellis, 71. Big as hell, humongous dude. And he was at one tech. Jason Peters was at left guard, and Jason Peters couldn't get over there. And I was like, this is what Will still was asking about. So good eye by you, good observation by you, 100%, Mr. Wolf. But yeah, man, I noticed that they didn't run to the right a little bit. So I want to know if that was in Kellen Moore's report.
But when they ran left with Jason Peters, he was cool.
Look, Jason Peters looked much more athletic moving that. Because look, when he went to the second level to block these linebackers, and that's what most of his blocks were. Most of his blocks were versus linebackers. When he stepped in those directions, he was getting to the second level quickly. Fine. It's just reach blocking to the right in particular, and he couldn't reach a 350-pound man. So that's a good get from you, Will. Still,
but question about it. I should have wrote this down. The time frame. There was a pass pro with him at guard where his hands seemed to get undisciplined or his technique got a little sloppy. And I was wondering, I'm sitting here like, does that happen at tackle? Or is you said is the latter? Is it him being out of shape? Is him playing guard? I do think it's him adjusting to guard. But I did give his performance overall, I gave it a solid grade. But the funny thing is, you said, yeah, man, Tyler looked like a serviceable left tackle. And I said, Jason Peters is like a serviceable left guard. I swear if you flip him, though, neither would be serviceable. But hey, if that's what we're going to roll out, man, I feel like these guys just need to continue to build on that.
Actually, Will, still, if you want to produce on the fly, I think I had the exact timestamp.
On the
I think I of the Jason Peters play that I think you're talking about.
Okay.
Because I wrote it down from my film set. It was on the goal line, maybe possibly. So I'm just kind of gonna look at that while I just take a look at this. But 100% Will, still to your point. I think that's something that Jason Peters is gonna get. He's gonna have to get acclimated to the timing of the inside, and that's the growing pains that I didn't want. Yes, it's at the 13-minute mark exactly. Will still. So if you want to produce on the fly
of what? Because I'm seeing the Cowboys film breakdown. Tyler Smith, Jason Peters. There's only 11 minutes on that.
Pull up the actual film session. The actual not film session. The actual film that you got from your plug and that you sent to me.
Oh,
the actual film.
Okay.
Yeah, the 50-minute or the 45-minute film at the 13-minute and 1 second mark, or just 13 minutes. I think that's what you're looking for. Will Steele is alluding to the idea that Jason Peters' hands kind of elevated and just kind of got up top for a little bit. But to Jason Peters' credit, he is a veteran. He did kind of work his hands back inside and anchored down and actually caught himself. Yeah. But the D lineman did get hands inside on him pretty quickly, and that's something else. That's another conversation that we got to have. And do we want to go through the growing pain of Jason Peters getting acclimated to the speed of left guard? And I think Tyler Smith is talented enough to play both. Right? Everybody's talking about, we don't want to put Tyler Smith in this situation. We don't want to stunt his growth. We don't want to mess him up. Tyler Smith was thrown in the hottest of fires from week one. He played left tackle all college and was thrown in the left guard fire and was fine. Then after all the left guard work, he was thrown into the fire of left tackle, and he's done fine. I think you should use Tyler to be the more versatile guy because he's the guy that's most talented right now, that's most naturally talented right now. Jason Peters is not your natural talented dude. He's your savvy veteran that has done it for 13,000 snaps or something like that. Some Duke Manyweather put out 1,300 snaps. He's your savvy veteran that's done it for 20 or so years. So he's technically that's the one. Will Steele.
That's the one.
Hey, man, come on, man. Yo, look, it ain't nothing to some bosses when you watching film and you know what you're looking for. Will Steele is a blind guy. Ain't that a bitch?
Credit to you, man. I was not lying a couple years ago when I told you. I said, hey, man, ever since I watched your own live film, I like it. For every play, there's something. But, yeah, this is the play I'm talking about.
Yeah. And if y'all take a look at Jason Peters' hands, you can go ahead and run a Will Steele, run a rewind it to your leisure. If you look at Jason Peters' hands, you see his hands kind of start up top a little bit, right? And when you're outside, that kind of does work for you a little bit because the angle is a little bit different. Actually, if you rewind it and look at Tyler Smith is using the outside technique, the hands to the outside technique, but it works for him because of the angle that he's being attacked by that end right there. So it actually works for Tyler. And you can use the high shoulder grip. I hate the high shoulder grip. You can actually use it if you're just a naturally powerful dude. Tyler and Jason Peters are naturally powerful dudes, but the angle that Jason Peters is working at because he's at guard, they get on you a little quicker.
Yeah.
They get on you a little quicker. So Tyler got a little room to navigate. Tyler can go boom, 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 hands inside. Jason Peters got to go boom, oh shit, somebody's hands are on me right now. But Jason being a savvy veteran, you can see his hands go from up back to the chest.
See, I wasn't even thinking of it that way, and that's why I love listening to your line guys. You're right. Tyler Smith does the same thing, but it takes a little bit longer to get there where Jason Peters got on his ass fast. And he had the savviness to be like, all right, let me clinch this in here so I don't get a holding call. But these are the weird little small things that we got to look for moving forward. But he's a veteran, so if he's going to continue to play there, by the way, Voch, I think they should just rip the Band-Aid off if he's going to be the guard. rip it off so he can get these reps to get better. So yeah.
Yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeeze. Shouts out to offensive linemen and offensive line guys coming together. I saw that play and I was like, man, hey, Jason, you can't use that. Jason, you can't use shoulders on the inside. I mean, you can, but shit, it ain't you don't see Zach Martin doing that shit too much. You do it sometimes because he's Zach Martin, he's a demigod. You don't do that shit too much. But yeah, Will, still, I saw that and it was very peculiar to me, man. I was like, all right, cool. Let's move on to defense, man. We talked about offensive line for a long time. It is 3:51. Shit, we may go overtime.
3:51? Well, we didn't go until like 3:15 anyways.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll give y'all a little overtime. We'll do these a little quicker. Will, still, did the tight ends make you not miss Dalton Schultz so much?
Yes, from a block. I almost tweeted this out 3 different times watching film. Jake Ferguson's your best tight end. No. Jake Ferguson, your best blocking tight end. No, ain't ready. Nah, yo, for real. Jake Ferguson's your best blocking tight end. He truly is your best blocking tight end, dog. There's no denying that, man. He just wants to smoke. You see the linebacker in him. I just love seeing him out there blocking because he's helping in the pass and in the run. And then Peyton Hendershot, you see him get busy with his wiggle. They complement each other very well.
Also, we just gave y'all some fire analytical offensive line stuff while Steve Young out there talking about Cooper Rush back there. Can we get y'all to like the video, please? Like we really hit y'all with some on the fly. Will still we hit y'all with some film and some analysis on the fly. Can y'all just take care of us, man? Just hit the like button and put flames in the chat box. We ain't doing nothing else. D-Town Tech says Jason Peters could very well be a downgrade at left tackle. Don't agree, but I appreciate your opinion. Appreciate you.
With that.
Jake Downey dropped the deuce and says, did you notice Noah Brown being used as a fullback in motion? Yeah, we had that conversation. He wasn't fullback necessarily, but he was more of a pulling kicker. Like he was more of a guard at that point than a fullback. But yeah, 100%. 100%. We were just talking about Kellen Moore and some of the wrinkles that he was putting together. So appreciate y'all. Yeah, Will still. I was looking at Jake Ferguson, and Jake Ferguson was blocking defensive ends out there, and they was doing it confidently. They was just putting Jake out there like, hey, Jake, block Ojulari, and we'll run off this. And Jake was doing it. You know what I mean? So Jake is definitely your best blocking tight end right now. And I think if Dalton Schultz won $16 million, he gonna have to get from Jacksonville. It is what it is. Let's get into some quick stuff about defense, man. I ain't got too much, man. Bohanna's a gangster. D-Law damn near caught Micah Parsons in one game. Dorrance Armstrong is catching up. Dante Fowler is making his moves, and our DBs are tackling physically. And I loved all of it. And I saw some Malik Hooker getting physical down there also, man. So just good games by the defense altogether. Will, did you have a takeaway that you wanted to get into for defense?
I you know what's crazy about this defense? I don't even think it's close to being its final form.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand guys are out, right? Like J-Ron Kurtz is out and things like that. But I think what's going to happen, and this is a blessing. I think this is a blessing in disguise that Daniel Jones did what he did, meaning running the ball as much as he did, scrambling around and whatnot. Because we didn't really address that until late in the game with Donovan Wilson as a spy. You're going to be playing a guy like Jalen Hurts here in a few weeks. I'm not saying they ain't smart enough to do that. They would have done that. But I think the urgency will be there even more to say, okay, we may need to do something different, either A, at the linebacker position, or B, at the safety position. And fortunately, Voch, we don't have to use no damn C.J. Goodwin. Remember that 2 years ago? We was rolling out C.J. Goodwin to spy on Jalen Hurts. I don't think you're going to need to do that this year. I think you can do that with Donovan Wilson. You can do that with Bell. You can do that with Jabril Cox. You can do that with these guys that have some speed. Micah Parsons if you want, because he did that last year on him. But you got other options. But they ain't even reached their final form. I feel like Dan Quinn is still in the lab and cooking up some things.
I'm just more and more impressed every week that not only did Bohanna smoke the shit out of Ridgeway, but he took Neville Gallimore's job. And not only did he take Neville, because look, I thought he took. Go ahead, Sip.
Took it, yeah.
Look, I thought he took Neville Gallimore's job in the way of, oh well, maybe it's some little packages, maybe it's a personnel package that we're gonna see Bohanna. No, he comes out first. He's the starter. He took Neville Gallimore's job, and that son bitch is playing football, ladies and gentlemen.
Fam. I saw Bohanna out there on passing downs, and I was like, Jesse, why the hell is Bohanna out there on passing downs? But hey, man, he's earned this. I'm sorry.
And every time, look, he's just so mean. Every time Bohanna make a play, he go, You go, nope. You go, nope. And every time you see him go, nope, they just show a replay of him tearing shit up in the middle. Dog, Bohanna's, he's become one of my favorite players. Well, still, I ain't getting a jersey or nothing like that. But dog, he's become one of my favorite players on defense. And I think Van Der Esch is having a much better season this year because, hey, we just look a lot better on the interior, man. And I think that was one of our focuses on the offseason, man. Will Steele, we have tonight somebody with a wrench in the chat box on the volume side. I actually got 2 wrenches I want to pass out. We'll see the other guy whenever he gets here. But and look, this is totally on King Element. I'm leaving King Element in charge of keeping all the wrenches in check, man, keeping the guns in check. Elevon 84. We're gonna go ahead and make you a moderator, man. We've watched some of your work. We've seen you put things together, sir. You've done well.
Yeah.
You've policed the best you possibly can. I'm not gonna say the other criteria that it takes to become moderator because other people just start doing the shit randomly, but you have done it. King Element, keep everybody in check for me. Elevon, you are a new wrench holder. Appreciate you, sir. You asked me about it a couple of weeks ago, man. And I'm like, yeah, sure. He does some good work.
Shout out to E. I've been saying L. So it's E. Levon.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Okay, because look. Let me tell you about that. I don't know how to say it, so I've been calling him L.
Yeah.
I just like, hey, shout out to L. And you're right, man. He's a fantastic, some in the chat, viewer, subscriber, whatever you want, or subscriber, supporter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it that way. Supporter, fantastic guy, well deserved.
I'm gonna call in one day. Man, my name is Elevin. Oh shit, Elevin. man, my name Elevin. I'm like, I'd never got that.
Well, you know me. What was the one I messed up on? It was so simple, but
it was terrible. It was somebody. I don't know.
Your boy something.
It was easier than that. Will Steele.
I was like, attaboy, and it was like your boy, and I was like, oh shit.
Attaboy. Hilarious. Oh man, appreciate you. He says, I can't hear what happened. I got a wrench. Hey man, shouts out to you. You got a hey, it's right next to your name. You got a wrench now. So y'all please keep the volume chat as clean as possible. I got one more wrench to give out, but he ain't here today. Y'all not allowed to miss shows. D-line played well. Demarcus Lawrence said he was going to make a statement, man. Look, I don't think Evan Neal trashed nothing like that. I just think D-Law had 3, but he could have had 5, Will Steele. One time he got hands on Daniel Jones, and Daniel kind of got away and he ran. And the other time he got to the backfield, and Donovan Wilson got there first, and Donovan got the sack. So in real life, D-Law could have had 5 goddamn sacks yesterday, and that would have been a whole nother story.
He beat that man with the same move 3 times. Same damn move. Hey, I know. I can't wait to hear the what's the sideline sounds of the sideline. I know he said some shit on the sideline like this motherfucker.
Keep doing the same.
This fella keep on biting on this same godmother sucking move.
Yeah, the same. I ain't gonna do it. There we go. Special K. I told you last night. I told you that I was gonna knight you on the volume side. There we go. We're gonna knight Special K. Special K is another supporter that holds us down on both channels, whether it be the Vice side, the volume side, and with Will Steele in the morning. Special K, we appreciate you, sir. You are knighted. I need where's my blade? I got a blade. I keep a knife on me every.
There you go.
I keep our volume street safe. Elevin and Special K. Appreciate y'all. And it's probably some people on the Vice side that don't know what the hell going on.
Before you move on from this dang on defense, we ain't even mentioned the Lion who was playing at 60% and still was throwing people's sons on the ground like that. I know he didn't fill up the stat sheet, but he definitely made his presence felt in Micah Parsons.
100%. And look, in Micah Parsons' flu game, even in this flu game, you saw his impact. He didn't get sacks tonight, which is fine. But you got pressures, you got hits. And I think he did a great job of freeing up other people, man. Whenever you're in this, because look, every time Micah would beat somebody, because he was beating people, there was a running back there, there was some help there was a guard there, but that left Tank Lawrence one-on-one with a rookie. And I think that we got the desired results out of that, Will Steele. So if Micah wasn't here, I don't think D-Law gets those sacks. But Micah presence alone. So I don't think Micah's gonna get 34 sacks, right? But this did make me think about it though, Wills. And Dorrance Armstrong could have had 2 sacks, but one was taken away because of penalty. We were talking about the team sack record, right? I think we can hit.
They on pace for they on
Yeah.
pace for 73 or something crazy. This is wild.
We on pace for that. And look, the competition only, turns into watching football. We're gonna sack Carson Wentz 10 times. Fucking Rams, Eagles, Lions, Bears, Packers. Like, we got teams that we can sack, bro. Like, we can. That team sack record is looking a lot more close than it once was, man. So I'm ready.
Listen to this. I don't know when the last time this has happened, man, but the Dallas Cowboys, 3 games in a row, 3 games to start the season, have had a different person get multiple sacks in every game. Micah Parsons, and Dorrance Armstrong, and Demarcus Lawrence. And could have been Dorrance Armstrong again. But 3 different games, 3 different people had, multiple sacks in the game. That's impressive, man.
Wow. This defense, man. This defense, bro. All right. Let's get into that's all for the defense. Did we talk about Lamb's catches and his drop woes?
We actually did not. We did not talk about that. I mean, I mentioned earlier this morning about how, Rush could easily had close to 300 if Lamb catches that rock. But hey, he was resilient. Yeah. He fought back and he came back in that second half. And I think he needed that, Voch. His mental I think it was weighing on him.
It was weighing on him. Yeah. Yo, people want to get mad at me so bad, Will, still. Like they want me to just be. And look, I wasn't even positive. Like they so used to me being positive. I was mad at Lamb. I kept saying, yo, see, you can't have that, bro. That's 6. Look, Will, you can ask Brumley. For 20 minutes, I was like, bro, that's 6. That's 6 points. We can't have it. That's 6 points. And then just one time, Will, I was like, man, CeeDee got drops. Other guys got drops. Jamar had drops, Debo had drops, but CeeDee cannot have that right there. But just me simply bringing up Debo and Jamar, I'm like, no, Voch, you're making excuses for CeeDee Lamb. Sir, no. Let's get into this heavyweight fight real quick. I'm about to put my glasses on and just sit back and watch this shit real quick. Before I start with that though, X from Text dropped a deuce super chat says, ref was out there pissed off. That Will, I made a tweet. Did you see how mad the ref looked that he had to make a call on the Giants? Like towards the end of the game, the ref was like, all right.
I mean, Voch, I don't understand what these. To me, I'm done. I'll complain about it for that time, then I move on because I don't think we're ever going to get these calls, yo. And I don't get it.
Yeah,
it's blatant stuff.
Yeah, man, they tackled Noah Brown, and Noah Brown got triple coverage last night. I was behooved. Martise from Philly. I just want Will Steele to talk to him. We're just gonna open up the phone right here and just let this fly. Martise from Philly. What's good with you, sir? Go ahead, Will. So take over the show. Go ahead.
I'm not saying. Martise? You see how Voch trying to do me? What up, Martise?
Look. I'll open it up quick.
Let me go cut my microphone.
Say what you got to say. I just rewatched the game today. And I guess maybe it wasn't clear. My issue with Kellen is not can he call a game to abuse a team that's not on our level. I don't care about that. Right? I'm 35. I'm a bit older than y'all. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was a kid.
So he thinks.
Martise, wait. No one passed that shit, Martise. You went on it.
Yeah, I got urgent
Oh, maybe I'm not. Well, you look good, bro.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
If you're older than me. But look, hear my point. I went through the Romo years with Garrett and Linehan, and then we got Little, Linehan, and Garrett. Now, we will abuse the crap out of people we're better than, right? I'm over that. I want when I watch Kellen Moore, my hope as a fan, not the rational part, as a fan, my mind is saying, show me that you know how to call an offense that would allow us to line up against anybody and not be embarrassed.
Yeah, Voch, you're going to have to help me out. This don't sound like what you said, Voch.
Now, Will, Martise has cleaned this shit up tremendously. Martise PR department did an incredible job of cleaning this shit up last night. He did incredible. Look,
damage control. He said, I did go back and watch the game because I was going to ask you the very first question. People in my chat, they know how I get. Well, how did you watch the game, sir? Was it broadcast view or was it the all 22? Because that changes things drastically.
Listen, Will, open.
No,
Look,
it wasn't the. I didn't
Martins,
watch
hang tight,
box
sir.
until just
Martins,
Micah.
hang tight, sir. Hang tight, sir. Hold on, brother. I got you. Look, Will, he opened up the call. Voch, I want Kellen Moore to be more creative. Like, what you mean, Marty? I'm sick of this same old raggedy scheme we running. Why can't we run tight schemes like everybody else? I'm like, dog, you see what they doing out there? He was like, man, Voch, I want to do what Shanahan and Mike McDaniels and them do. I say, bro, we doing some innovation. But he was like, but Voch, we need to do that shit versus winning teams when Dak Prescott come back in this time when this happens in November at noon games. I'm like, okay, well, I see what you're doing. Okay, you're adding stimulus. He definitely cleaned this shit up though, Will. Still, go ahead, Will.
The latter, I'm actually with you, caller. Like, I also want to see Kellen Moore do this against better teams, do this later in the season. If you go back to what I've said in the offseason, I said, I don't worry about, and I did after the first game, but I said, I didn't really worry about Kellen early. Kellen always shows a little something early, right? It's when we start getting a little bit later. It's when people start adapting. It's when you're playing those better teams, et cetera, where things get funky later down in the season. So I'm with you, right? Like, I do want to see him do better against better teams, but I was under the assumption that you said that Kellen Moore did not scheme up anything last night, and that could be the furthest thing from the truth.
Did, but his PR department is amazing. But go ahead, Martins, defend yourself.
So I did. So in a way, I did. I wasn't specifically talking about last night.
In a way,
I did say he was not impressive, and I didn't see anything. My point was, and I'm aware I could have came off all over the place if we were assuming I was just talking about that game. I didn't see anything from Kellen so far this whole year that gave me confidence to say when we're playing a team equal or better than us, we actually can get after them. That's my point, and that's also what I meant yesterday. Because the Giants don't have one player on their team that's going to make the Pro Bowl on defense. Not one.
Yeah, but Martins,
got one guy on offense.
But I don't disagree with that.
No, I'm looking at it from a different lens, honestly.
I'm not impressed by you abusing them. We'll see what we do against Philly. But that was my ultimate thought. When we play,
I will say this though, Martins. I will say this though. I know it's the Giants, but it's not like we beat the Giants by beating up on them talent-wise. Like, we did scheme things to beat the Giants. Like, cause Wink Martindale's scheme, like if we're looking at the chess match of things, Wink Martindale puts together a pretty good chess match, and you want us to win the chess match. This ain't like, oh well, we're just physically better than somebody. When Cooper Rush was throwing to open wide receivers, that was by via. That wasn't because Noah Brown is just a better wide receiver than Adoree Jackson.
No,
you see what I'm saying? Like, we schemed those dudes open.
I guess maybe I'll be fair and say this. I'm sure you probably got the all 22. I didn't see that at this point. What I saw and what kept going through my mind was this looks familiar to Kellen.
What?
Running the ball down people's throats.
Oh, running the ball. Yeah.
Kellen can run the ball. When Kellen can run the ball for, I don't know what we averaged yesterday, 5-6 yards a clip. When it all was said and done, I'm looking at Zeke running down people's throat, Pollard running down people's throat. Yeah, he could throw the ball in. When you go to the Tampa game, we couldn't really run the ball that well.
That's not true. We were running the ball. He just stopped.
Get his ass, Will. Still get his ass.
What I recall, there was multiple penalties that got us in a second and long, and then he didn't run anymore.
No, in fact, that is also not true, because when the Cowboys got into those first and long situations because of pre-snap penalties, they actually averaged over 5 yards a carry on those rushes. But it's about committing to what works for your team. And that was one of the main issues with Kellen Moore. It don't even just have to be running. It would be formations. It would be how they run. It'd be how they pass. He never really committed to that. For whatever reason, it worked. And he'd be like, all right, I'll come back to it 5 weeks from now, 10 weeks from now. No, keep doing it. And that's what he did against the Giants. And that's why I said, if I were you, I would just kind of readjust your lens on Kellen Moore in that game, right? You said, okay, it was against the Giants. Very true. But the things that you saw from a schematic standpoint, I didn't see that on a consistent basis in any other game this year. So if you look at it that way, that's something you can take as a positive and hope to build on moving forward. That
is also correct. I did see a few things that I did not see before. How much of that is? Well, I guess we'll see. I'm not going.
Yeah, we'll see. It's still early, right? Like he ain't out the woods yet, man.
Yeah.
All right, look, so we got a little bit of production
last
on
thing
the
I
go.
wanna throw in-
Hold on, time out, Martise. I got your call from yesterday. Let's run this shit real quick. Let's do this.
Shit.
Martise from Philly on the phone. What up, Martise? Get this shit out.
So I'll keep this brief.
Mm-hmm.
I love all Cowboy Nation. I appreciate the optimism, but at some point we got to stop and ask ourselves, what have we been watching since Kellen Moore has been around, including Jason Garrett? We will make the playoff. I'm not saying this year. We've seen our team with the same philosophy, try to run the ball in this bland, boring way.
Come on, Will.
That doesn't really open much up in the passing game. Doesn't open up a whole lot of rack. There's no team in the NFL that we look at that can run the ball that you think about as a contender unless they have some serious creativity zone game to them. This boring run downhill at people doesn't work against good teams. Because
do you see how he cleaned that shit up, Will? Steele?
Yeah, he definitely cleaned it up.
5 minutes ago, when he asked, see, this my problem, see, this my problem, see, this my problem, see, I got receipts, baby. I got receipts. Every time I make a purchase, it prints out on a little sheet of paper and I hold on to it. Hey, you know what else I do with that little sheet of paper? After it prints out, I ball it up and I throw it right at you. That's what I do to it. That's what I do. I done threw away my notes. I don't know what we're going to talk. I forgot shit. But
it doesn't work against good teams, was my point. It doesn't work against good teams.
Well, we'll see, Martine.
Well, just a question. I understand these boys are only 1 and 2, but what do you consider? What do you consider the Bengals at this moment, who went to the Super Bowl last year? I'm just curious.
A team like that. That's an example of a team that caught fire. They're not a very like you look at the Bengals. Honestly, if you had to ask me, the Bengals are the Cowboys.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That Bengals defense can play. That Bengals defense can play. I'm not going to sit here and let you lie on that Bengals defense. That Bengals defense can play. Trey Hendrickson got 18 and a half sacks last year and in the playoffs. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Let me make the whole statement and I'll be quiet. And you correct or, like.
Okay, go ahead. Okay,
when I'm more so referring to the Bengals offense. Okay, when I look at the Bengals offense, I see a whole bunch of talent with terrible coordinating. That reminds me of what I've seen from Dallas. Defensively, we're better than them by far. The offense, and I've watched the Bengals a lot, they have a terrible coordinating and a bunch of talent.
A terrible defense?
Super Bowl, Martise. They went to the Super Bowl, Martise. They went to the Super Bowl, Martise. You mean to tell me a trash-ass defense to go to the Super Bowl, Martise? What do you mean? What do you say? I'm sorry, go ahead.
You have Demarcus and Boyd and Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow.
I thought it was talking about creative.
You can get to a Super Bowl.
I thought it was talking about creative run game. I thought it was talking about run games, though, Martise.
I didn't name the Bengals as a creative run game box.
Well, I'm just saying in general, Martise. I thought it was talking about what's a long call. I was just saying in general, Martise. Just long story short, man. That Bengals defense can play. I think Kellen's run game scheming is a lot different than what it once was. I don't think it's as vanilla as Linehan's once was. We just pulled a receipt. You actually compared those two. That ain't the case. I think if we just continue to scheme the way that we've been scheming the last two games with Dak Prescott and Michael Gallup and James Washington in place, I don't know what Tyron Smith is going to be. If we continue to do those things when Dak and those guys come back, we'll be fine. We'll be good to go, brother. We'll be good.
Solid. Have a good one.
We beat the Eagles last year, Martin. And the goddamn Patriots. What you think about that Patriots defense, baby? What you think about that Patriots? Martin just hung up. My bad.
He's a good troop, though. He's a good troop. Appreciate you, Martise.
Lift him up.
Yo, Martise, I appreciate you for being a good sport, man. At the end of the day, this is content. We may disagree, but I'm disagreeing loudly because we're content creators. But I appreciate you for being a good sport.
Cool,
I think time will time will tell, Martise. Time will tell. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute.
Right, see ya.
Yes, sir. And I'm bullshit. Hey, Will. This roadcast is so fire, bro.
I love
Let
it.
me just tell you when you was talking to Martise, let me tell you the journey that I went on, right? I went to freeconferencecall.com, right? I went to freeconferencecall.com and I got the exact timestamp in which Martise called.
Smart.
I did the math, and it was a halftime, so I didn't even think about that. But I did the math, and I ran to the stream from yesterday on my phone. I pulled it up, Rodecaster Bluetooth, pulled it up, got his ass well. Hey, let me tell you something. We keep receipts right here, Playboy. You feel me? All right, let's get to these calls. I know we let Martise go long. That's because we had beef and we're content creators. We ain't had beef for real, but we just had a little smoke and we're content creators. But for the rest of y'all, let's make 1 point and a quick follow-up. If y'all have a second follow-up, let's make the second one quick. All right. So we're gonna bring you in, we're gonna talk to you, love on you, all that good stuff, give you a hug, make your first point, make a quick follow-up point. Let's go, Carlos. Get him in here first. Then we'll go Charlie, then we'll go Asa. Carlos, what up?
Buenos dias, Voch Lombardi y Skywalker Steele. What up, bro?
Goal! Hey. My bad, Carlos.
Hey, let me say this, bro. Say it with your chest, Voch. We got a Super Bowl defense, and I'm not trying to get too far ahead.
Yeah, man.
But man, you know they're lucky we didn't even put what my uncle drinks on the weekend, which is 40 on there. You know what? So let me, man. There's this tweet I saw, Voch.
Catch your breath.
We out here playing Madden lineups, and we still out here getting some dubs. And you gotta be proud of Kellen. And that's all I gotta say, man. Peace out. Hey,
appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, Los. Will, I don't think Los is exaggerating, man. I think that this defense, it can carry us, man. It can carry us all the way. You've already said it. I've said it ad nauseum, man. I just got belief in them. I got belief in them.
August 10th, I believe, is the day we came back from Oxnard. What did I say in the car? To be very transparent to the people. You asked me flat out. You said, so do you believe this is a Super Bowl team? I said, I believe this is a Super Bowl defense.
Yep.
I just have to see it on offense. You know, I just got to see it on offense before I can go that far. But defensively, I feel good about it. And through 3 games, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, we did what we supposed to do against Daniel Jones. But the points have gone down from 19, 17, 16. We're going to do 15 next week, right? So, and I think the turnovers, you see they're getting close, Voch. They're getting close. Yeah. Diggs should have had 3 of them things.
Should have had 3. Should have had 3 with. So. And I think Malik got his hands on one of them. It was a tip, and he kind of, it was towards the ground or whatever, but he almost got his hands on another one, Will, still. So, hey, man, turnovers will come. Also, I think if we just keep sacking quarterbacks, I think forced fumbles are going to happen. You know what I mean? So, we're going to definitely get the turnover numbers going. Don't you worry about it. Uncle Charlie, what's good with you?
What's happening? How y'all doing? It's a blessing to see y'all. Let me say this.
Please.
I want you to follow me, Skywalker, real quick because I got to get off here. Hearsay. It's nothing but hearsay. The lie has the truth unless you believe it. The lie is that we said we wasn't a good team. The truth is that we is. Let me explain something to you. Ever since Jerry Jones did that deal with Nike outside of the NFL, they had it in for him ever since. And you can see that last night with the 2 blatant pass interference. But I want the Cowboy Nation to understand something. Somebody say a win is a win is a win. And that may be true. But penalties are penalties too. I want the Cowboys to understand. You outplayed what the referees put down last night. You outplayed that. But you won't outplay the plays, the penalties that you earned.
That's fair.
Skywalker is right. He's got the passion. He got the smarts of a lion. And I'm glad he said, Uncle Charles, you're wrong. Because if I can't take that from him, then I'm not on a dud. Let me say this in closing. The trick is in. I always say, family, if you see a preacher with red socks, red hair, red shoes, red hat, and a red handkerchief, he ain't no damn good. Tell me he talked to God last night. Well, if you talked to God last night, give me that number where I can talk to him about that highest water bill and his highest cable bill. Y'all be blessed.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
Hallelujah.
I love what he said, though, Will, still. I love what he said. Some penalties that are referee inflicted, can't do nothing about them.
Right.
The Noah Brown little holding joints, you know what I mean? They'll not call Micah Parsons getting held. There's nothing we can do about that, right? Sam Williams hitting Daniel Jones out of bounds. You know? hitting sliding quarterbacks, false starts and things like that. You know what I mean?
You can help that.
You can definitely help them. You can definitely help them. And if they're going to call those calls on us regardless, then we cannot make the foolish, careless mistakes. You see what I'm saying? So great wisdom right there from Uncle Charles. Go ahead.
I think that's something that probably not us. It doesn't matter, but that needs to be preached more and more and more. I mean, I'm sure it is in that locker room. McCarthy always talks about it, but then it continues to happen. It can't, right? Because the teams, the referees are going to call other penalties on you or not call other penalties on you. So you can't help them by giving them easy calls. You can't give them easy holdings and give them easy false starts and personal fouls and things like that, because you are, at this point, I'm convinced you are going to have to overcome certain aspects of this league and certain aspects of the game. Sometimes it's coaching. A lot of the times it's the refs. You cannot shoot yourself in the foot.
Do you think Sam Williams just don't know how to slow down? Like his brain just don't know how to make his feet stop?
I think Sam wants to make a play so
Sam
bad. Because think about it, everybody else out there making plays. He want to be part of the party.
Sam wants some. Also, too, another thing, Will Steele, D-Law went down with a foot injury in the middle of the game, and my heart dropped because I was like, bro, we don't need that right now. We don't need D-Law to miss another. Last year was like 12 weeks or something like that. We don't need D-Law to miss that. But he got back in the game. Have you heard anything about that? Any updates about D-Law?
I haven't heard anything about him being significantly hurt. He's probably dinged up like most football players are, but he came back in and did he get a sack? Oh, no, he didn't get a sack. But he got some pressures, yeah.
Yeah, he did get back in the game, and that makes me feel great because we need that dude moving forward, man. And I want to be as healthy as possible for Week 6, man. I feel good about the Washington Football Wizards. I think the Rams will be a close fight if Dak's going to be back that game. That's a good warm up for Dak. You know what I'm saying? To let the defense continue to lead us in that way.
That's a goddamn fire.
I think if you use Micah the same way that the Bills used Von Miller Week 1 and just attack Note Boom, I think we can have similar results with Matthew Stafford throwing us the football and not getting shit done on offense. Hopefully.
Sure. But I mean from an offensive standpoint, the demigod Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, he ain't the same Jalen, but he's still Jalen. And Raheem Morris is a good defense coordinator. Bobby Wagner, those guys. That's fire. But hey, man, that's what you can pay for.
That's a fantastic fire. But I tell you what, man, if we lose to the Rams, like, all right, I don't want to fucking lose to them Eagles. Man.
Oh no. You don't. No.
Motherfuckers, man, I don't want to lose to them. I don't. I'm sick of their content creators. And look, just for everybody, just for clarity, because the Eagles YouTube fans got this. Like, we don't beef with any of those guys. We don't legitimately hate anybody. So that's just get that out the way.
I legitimately hate the Eagles.
The Eagles fans and Eagles in general. I hate Eagles fans, not Eagle fan in particular. I don't hate Eagles. I hate all of them. I hate the body of it. I just need a W, dog. That's my goddamn Super Bowl. And look, they be like, "Oh, beating us is y'all Super Bowl." Yup. Yep, man. All right, let's get to these other callers so we can clock out. Will Still, we got other work to do for the people throughout this week. Asa, what up? Asa, the numbers guy. I have you in my chat, in my phone log is Asa, the numbers guy. What's up with you?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, I went all Rain Man on y'all last week. I want to apologize about that.
Brother, you good to go.
That's all good. I want to also apologize. Actually, first before I get started, is that in the midst of dropping those numbers, I said the record was 74. In fact, it is 72. So I gotta eat my crow there. But
we don't remember
that being said,
this is what it is.
Yeah. With that being said, what I like to do with my delicious glass of Victory water here, I'm gonna drink it for a second.
Okay.
Is double down on that content, because obviously after last week, y'all were a little more pessimistic about that possibility. So you can imagine how elated I am to hear y'all mentioned earlier in the show that you're a little more now on the side of seeing the possibility, and that's all that I was trying to lay out for y'all to see last week, was just that they're on pace for it. As Will, you said earlier, and now after last night's game, they're on pace for 73. So
73.
I think they also got the depth to do it. That's the most important thing. Obviously, Micah didn't have any sacks last night, but they still walked away with 5. And Voch, you also pointed out as well, like on this schedule. I mean, if you look at the quarterbacks that we're going to be facing, aside from maybe Hurts or somebody like Rodgers who can get the ball out quick, or Hurts who can evade you really well. I mean, we're going to play Daniel Jones again, and Philly, they just played Washington, who's our next competitor this next week, and they sacked him 9 times. So I see a lot of potential going forward for this team to keep racking up these sacks, and I'm officially on sack 73 watch. So I'll keep letting y'all guys know what the numbers look like and if they're on pace. But I think you're already going to be there with me in that process.
Cool.
That's actually a fun thing to do. Yeah, keep us posted on the sack number.
Yeah, that's gonna be your new role in this content community, Asa. You're gonna keep us tabbed up on the sack numbers or just the record numbers in general, any records that we may be close to, but specifically the sack record number. So you say the record is 72 and we on pace for 76?
74, I believe.
No, 73.
73.
Yeah,
73.
3 and change. So if you round up, yeah, it's 74.
No. 72 is the record. I think you said it was 60 something. 72 is actually the record.
No. I said last week they had 67 more sacks to go before they broke the record.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 72 is the record.
In the first 2 games.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 72 is the record. They got 73. They'll break it. So then that's what we're on pace for right now, boys.
Hey, Asa, appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for calling.
No, not a problem.
Now, Will Steele, this is where I slightly disagree with Asa. I think you can sack Jalen Hurts. I think the running quarterbacks is where you get a lot of your sacks, So Jalen Hurts, guys like Justin Fields or whatever, like these dudes that's gonna run around. Like they run in the sacks because they extend plays. Extending plays works to our advantage. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to play against Jalen Hurts twice. 2 calls and we're gonna talk to the chat and clock out. 336. What's up? Who this?
Oh, what's good? What's good? This KR97 in the comment section.
You say who?
This KR97.
KR97.
I don't got no rent in that.
KR97.
Yeah.
I got you, my guy. What you got for the show?
Nothing. I just want to say good bounce back game for CeeDee, man. I was pissed at that man when he dropped that ball. I was like, if we lose this game is on him for sure. But besides that, man, good win for us. D. Wilson stepping in for Curse, doing a good job. Hooker making some tackles, and Dak don't got to rush back, man. I think you need to just wait till like the Eagles game to come back. I don't think he should come back against the Rams.
I don't want Dak to be rusty versus the Eagles. That's my whole thing. I want the Rams to be his preseason game, and then we go into the Eagles warmed up and ready to go. That's what I want.
Right. Yeah, I just don't want him to play on that broken hand. I mean,
sure.
Because the pressure is on, so he need to be at his best when he come back.
Sure, fair enough. KR97, I just put you down platinum. Next time you call in, we'll know it's you. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Now, Will Steele, somebody asked this in the chat, but I think it was a good question. Captain America says, "Who spies Hurts?" And as I was watching the game last night, I was like, man, are we just kind of letting Daniel Jones run around just to keep our coverage intact? Like, are we just letting them get away? All right, Daniel Jones, we'll give you these runs so that the pass doesn't open up. And they was just kind of asking me in the chat about Voch, who do you think should spy Daniel Jones? And I think anybody should be spying. I think guys like Jabril Cox, in which he was active last night and he didn't really have like just any other role. He wasn't doing nothing else. I think Jabril Cox would be a good guy to just put on the field and just spy somebody.
Yeah, I haven't watched the defense intently. I just went back and checked out Demarcus Lawrence, but I want to see what was up with LVE in this game, because if he wasn't a factor, then yeah, Jabril Cox could have got in there and did something. But it looks like Donovan Wilson was playing a bit of a spy technique at the end.
Yeah, I love that we have the same process. We'll watch enough film to do a film session. we'll watch enough film to do a show, but then we watch to really get the answers. When we got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, today was my offensive day. I was intently watching that tomorrow's defense. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all. Like, yeah, man, Osa was killing it. I don't know.
Oh, Hannah. 484. Ain't this your people, Will, still 484?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that ain't
Hello.
All right, cool. 484. What's up? Who this?
Oh, yeah, Reading.
Yeah, how you doing? My first time caller. Just want to say you got a great show and God bless your show.
Okay.
And Dallas Cowboys, we did good.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys fans, they got to relax. They always want to win by 100.
Mm-hmm.
A victory is a victory. and appreciate the victory. God bless the show. You and Will Steele do a great show. Have a good one.
Thank you,
Hey,
sir.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. That mean the world to us. Good call. Good call. Hey man, it may not seem like it, man, but that be meaning the world to us. Me and Will still hear that, man. I start to Harlem shake a little bit, man. I'll be excited. I'm like, man, somebody like my show. I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.
All right, chat box. I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired as hell, man. So y'all got about 5 minutes before we hang up on y'all ass. So go ahead and talk shit. I ain't got no fancy intro. Just talk. Go ahead, now. Go on.
Don't get.
Go on now, chat. Hashtag linebacker shit. Come on.
Nobody knows. I was definitely on hashtag linebacker mode this morning, bro. Get in the crib after 12 o'clock. Can't go to sleep. Gotta wake up for the morning. It's rough. Did 5 shows in 24 hours, bro.
Yeah, oh good. Oh man.
Yeah.
I was tired as hell, man. Hey man, look, Logan sent me a text early this morning, right? And he was like, yo, Voch, monster show last night. I'm like, I bet I bet it was, sir. I bet it was, Logan. All right. Let's read it. The new moderators with wrenches and winches, direct the messenger to the message hall.
Got 'em more.
Goddamn. Well, just go ahead and get some of that water. Get some of that. Let's go ahead and get some of that. Hear ye. Hey, how I do that?
Ooh,
What side am I on?
wait. No, you're right.
This right here?
Perfect.
There we go.
Appreciate you.
There we go. All right, we're corny as fuck. Whatever. Hear ye. I lost the comment. Shit. Here we go. Marcus Hardison says, at the volume. That's me and Will Steele. At the volume, fate whispers to the lion, you cannot withstand the storm. And the lion whispers back, I am the storm. Hey, let me just cut that.
I can't help but hear, I am the one who knocks.
We gotta turn up. Shouts out to the young lions known as Voch. That's me. Will Steele, that's him. Let's go hunt, Cowboys Nation. Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. Who said that? Galileo ain't say that shit. Galileo ain't say that. God damn. I ain't gonna lie, chat. Y'all got like 30 seconds to get y'all questions in. What the fuck y'all want?
Elgene said Big Bo making us forget about Gallimore.
Hey, Neville's been fine, but Bo's been playing good. We're right. Dak coming back versus the Rams is a bad idea. You let Cooper beat up on the NFC East, then let Dak come back against the Super Bowl champions. Then when he looks bad, it feeds the whole narrative. I don't think the Cowboys in the locker room necessarily care about the narrative. That's only Twitter.
You saw what your man said on Twitter about,
You saw what J. Ron Kerr said. They don't care about the narrative. These boys just win, says Skywalker Steele. Can you unblock me? What you do?
How do you block people on YouTube? You can't block them in the chat, but I don't think I've blocked you in the chat.
What you do? I think that's a fair question. You know what I mean? Just what you do. Voch, tell my new employee, Colin Cowherd, he needs to talk better on us. Nah, it's wrestling. We need Colin. Can we say DQ is doing a bit too much on some of them packages last night? I ain't questioning Dan.
Doing too much.
I ain't questioning a thing.
I ain't saying nothing till I watch, but 16 points.
Yeah. I ain't questioning Dan Quinn, bro. Wait till we get Dak and Gallup. Watch and see, homeboy. Sure. Let's go like 3 more. If y'all want some more content, go watch Film Session, go watch Patreon, go watch A to Z Dials, go watch the video he about to put out in 30 minutes.
No, I'm doing that live tomorrow.
Okay, live tomorrow. Yeah, let's get a dirty day for all the DBS members. I don't know what that means. Cooper Rush is a decent game manager. Cooper Rush is a decent game manager, but Dak is a game changer. But Cooper Rush showed me he can play. For sure. He can play.
Definitely garnered more respect. If he hasn't yet, I mean, I don't know what else he got to do.
Yeah, he can play. King Element says, where you stay at? Don Trail says, you know where you stay at.
What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
All right, y'all. That's all we got for y'all today, man. We got a lot more work to do. I got to do some defensive work for y'all for tomorrow. And of course, we got to break down the because this is a fast week, so we got to break down the Washington football team. We're probably gonna do all that on one day, because today's Tuesday. So, Wednesday and Thursday are going to fly by pretty fast. So we're going to take care of all this stuff. We're going to take care of y'all, man. We're going to get y'all some good content. Don't worry about it. Be sure to follow all the Volume social medias. And, follow the YouTube page, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hold us down. Follow me on my social medias, VOCHLOMBARDI, my non-football platform, twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. And if you want to watch the long form film sessions in their entirety, you can watch, you can go to patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Okay. Will Steele, where can the good people find you, sir?
At Skywalker Steele on Twitter, always dropping stuff during the games, after the games, and then of course A to Z Sports Dallas in the morning. Tomorrow we're definitely going to be talking about this offense in depth. I think y'all will be excited about it.
In the morning. I am going to drop the link to my Tyler Smith, Jason Peters film session. Okay, y'all want to take a look at that? I'm dropping it in the chat box right now, so we can actually leave from here, and I will meet y'all in the comment section on the Jason Peters, Tyler Smith film session. All right, love y'all to pieces. I'm going to do a little more defense tomorrow. This schedule is gonna be weird because today fucking Tuesday. We'll cross the road whenever we get there. Yeah, we'll figure it out when we get there. Y'all, wait, hold on, time out. Wait, I got a button for this. I'm not gonna do this button every time. I'm not gonna do that every time. But I just love.
Yo, Skywalker,
Oh man, whatever. Volume, y'all.
Beats Planet.